What's up, guys? I'm here with my boy Luke. Luke, how you doing, bro?
Doing well, brother.
Glad to hear. Glad to hear. Cool. So Luke and I have been living out here in Bangkok for what, like the almost last 2 years?
It's been about a year for me. Yeah.
How have you been liking it so far?
Well, originally I was in like Chonburi for about 10 months, and I was on like a fitness journey out there, and then on like my 10th month, I decided to kind of just change pace and move to Bangkok. And that's kind of when we met. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. And with remote sales, as an appointment setter, like in 30 days, how much would you say you've been able to make?
First 30 days, about 3K, and then the second month I did 5. So, yeah.
Pretty sick. And what has that been able to allow you to do out here in Thailand? 'Cause, like apparently you can't be a Grab driver and live the life you're living because you'd only make like 10,000, 20,000 baht, which isn't that much.
Yeah, man, I don't want to be risking my life on the road for that cash. Nah, man. Cost of living in Thailand is low. So for those of you in America that don't know, like Thailand is just a whole different world culturally and just living in general, and everything costs much less out here. So for example, an apartment, my apartment is maybe 450 a month. It's a nice condo, central finance district of Bangkok. So 3K in it, so 3K on the low end in itself gives you a nice quality life out here, let alone 5 to 10. So,
Yeah. So I mean, finding and landing that first gold mine offer where you're able to make your first 3K that first 30 days and then making 5K that next month, like how long would you say it would take someone who is starting at ground zero right now, if they have the right proven method, the strategy in order to get there?
well, half of it is just discipline, the other half is a bit of luck. But if you're consistent every single day and on top of it and you follow exactly what I did for you, then it could be as little as a week or as much as a month, you know. But I really haven't seen those that actually put the work in struggle to get an offer within 30 days, really.
Yeah.
It's sufficient to live out here.
Yeah, 100%. Like in Living Unchained right now, the only people who don't have offers are the ones who haven't done the exact system I taught them. And like if you do like 100 of what like I'm telling you to do, then you'll easily land that gold mine offer, which is what you, Jan, Dennis, and a few others have already done. It's just all about time, consistency, and intensity in order to actually succeed in landing that gold mine offer. But I mean, out here in Bangkok, like let's just say back home in Florida, like what would you say the main difference is for you that made you want to stay out here instead of just settling back home in Florida?
No, absolutely, on all that other stuff. But as for like the main differences, brother, I mean, there's a laundry list. Like, as we said, quality of life, cost of living, you could just get more, like 5x more for your income out here. I don't do grocery shopping anymore. I go to a very nice gym, have amenities where I live. I have ease of access everywhere. The culture out here is amazing. People are amazing. Like Thai people are the friendliest people on earth.
Yeah.
And man, like everything from dating to weather. Although like the only downside to Bangkok is the air pollution. That's really it.
And the time zone.
That's
If you're working a US offer.
yeah, that could be an issue, but that's really it. Yeah.
Yeah, 100% agree. Like with the Thai people, it's kind of like you get treated how you treat them. Have you ever had a bad experience with a Thai person? Yeah, me neither. But from the stories I have heard from people getting mistreated or anything like that, it's very likely that they were the ones first who were mistreating them, which led them to getting mistreated themselves. So they believe in like karma out here, I believe. So like what you put in and what you do, they believe like it'll come back on them. So if they treat everyone with respect and you treat everyone with respect, there'll be no issues whatsoever. But I mean, making like 3 to 5K a month out here compared to making 3 to 5K a month with remote sales back in Florida. I mean, we already kind of talked about this a little bit, but like 5K a month out here is what, like 15K legitimately, like back home.
Yeah, if you were to compare it for what you get, yeah, I'd say the condo I'm in would cost maybe $3,000, maybe 5 even. You know, like you're talking central Bangkok in nice areas with amenities and stuff. So that in itself, food is less, everything is just less. So yeah, maybe 3 to 5x cost of living differences. So your money gets you much further out here for sure. No No.
Yeah. I got you. And like, what even made you want to come out here to Bangkok in the first place? Or you went to Pattaya first, right?
Yeah, I was in Pattaya. It was for me, it was a bit of a different circumstance. Got sick from mold in Miami. Ironically, I was living in Brickell in Miami, training with UFC, and then I moved into a new apartment, and then there was like hidden mold. I got super sick, had to throw out everything, and I was like, you know what, let me just change direction. And I saw some other nomads out in Bangkok, and that was kind of like the inspiration. So I moved out here, and I was like, holy fuck, what am I doing with my life? You know? Yeah. But the 8 to 10 months in Pattaya was just me training at Muscle Factory and like just straight recovering and just, to be honest, basically a vacation. You know, I had money saved up, so I was just enjoying life out here. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna like lock in and get dialed in Bangkok, and then we met, and I got introduced to remote sales, and then next thing you know, I'm making decent money and leveling up from there, man.
Yeah.
Starting my own offering stuff, so.
Yeah, and he's about to start a fitness offer, which is what I think a lot of people should do. Use remote sales as a vehicle to sustain yourself and to make income while going after what you truly want. Like Luke, he's into fitness, so like using the vehicle to at least have some cash flow coming in as either a setter or a closer, and then focusing on what you actually want to focus on. That's what you should be kind of having the long-term vision for. So I mean, with you right now, like being able to become a fitness influencer and a coach and stuff like that, like using remote sales, like what do you think that would be the best way for anyone if they want to be like a fitness coach, maybe they want to start e-commerce long-term, like remote sales? Do you think that's like the best kind of, not an online business, but the best method in order to just sustain yourself anywhere in the world, like making money while you actually focus on what you really want to focus on?
No, absolutely. You could balance the two things. Like you could work on someone else's offer and simultaneously just develop your own and work on your own business. And I think that also just starting, at the beginning point, as I'm sure we both did, I don't know if you started as a setter or okay, so yeah, most guys in remote sales will start as a setter, and there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people just aim for the closer role, and it's like, you don't even have the experience for that, and maybe you are fit to do it, but it's good to just like understand the concepts of setting and like getting into that, and you still learn sales in the process anyways, so it's beneficial for you in the long run to learn that and master it, and then to take the next step to whether it be closing or starting your own offer, and then learning how to close your own offer and such.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, sales is the number one skill in the world. Once you learn that skill set, you'll never go broke again, because if you do go broke, all you have to do is sell one deal and you'll be back in the game. And like Luke was saying, starting out as a setter is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing, because you get to see the whole A to Z process, from a prospect, watching the videos, to booking in the opt-in page, calling them as a setter, and then seeing them go to the closer. Just seeing the whole sales process will be able to help you if you want to, like, let's just say Luke wants to get into fitness coaching, so he already knows the whole entire process.
Yeah.
And that's because he's already been through the setting and hope maybe closing process one day.
Yeah.
And he gets to see that whole thing, so he can replicate that in his own business.
No, I absolutely agree with that. And I'd also even go as far as to saying, like, life is sales. Like, you interact with people on a daily basis. Like, you have to, sales is one of those things where you have to improve yourself in every way as a man, and for it to reflect in your invoices. Like, if your sales skills are poor, then you will not make as much money.
Yeah.
So in order to increase your sales skills, you have to increase your communication skills, you have to tonality, like everything from like even just like your structure to your calendar to your fitness, even your overall energy levels, and just being able to effectively communicate with people on a daily basis. So then your dating life improves, your family relations, like everything under the sun that you can imagine just improves.
Yeah, like all of you guys right now, believe it or not, you're already in sales. If you've ever made a girlfriend, you've made a friend, you've already sold yourself to those people on them liking you or dating you. Just unfortunately, you didn't get paid. So it's just all about translating that ability and that skill online into an online offer or business that you're actually able to make money and unlock the first two items that leads to freedom, which is your location freedom and your time freedom. And if you're living out here in Thailand, you can easily unlock financial freedom, just because you're able to save and invest a lot quicker and faster because everything is so cheap.
Absolutely.
So I mean, right now, Luke, like, what would you say that next goal for you is? Do you want to get to 10,000 a month as a closer with remote sales, or do you want to just, sustain yourself with like 5K a month and just focus on the fitness offer for yourself?
So right now, I'm focusing on just purely going for closing on a good offer. But I mean, if the offer is good enough, then setters can make also 5 to 10K, which I'd be fine with. So yeah, having that sustainability at 5 to 10K out here, and just focusing on my own business, and then putting money into ads on that and just building it up would be getting more testimonials and such is the plan. So
yeah, fair enough. And I've been all over the world, like Dubai, the Philippines, but I definitely think Bangkok is the best place to go. Like, would you agree that the network out here, like hanging out with all these people at the gym, these bars, restaurants, do you think like it's a lot better than maybe back home in Florida? I know Miami has a good network as well, but what would you say about Bangkok's network?
I think the people that end up in Bangkok are like the kind of people that are like all or nothing, and they're in on their journey and to like improve themselves in most ways, like us. So you meet some really unique individuals and successful people. So I think, as foreigners out here, that's what you tend to see a lot. Yeah.
And you can see a lot of that good stuff, but to be honest, guys, I've had a few friends come out here with like 10, 20,000 saved up, but then they went down the wrong path. They didn't focus on the right businesses, they didn't focus on the right inputs. They focused on the inputs that led straight to pleasure and no purpose, which led them down a dark rabbit hole, going out clubbing every night, spending their money. I mean, which you can easily do because bot is like monopoly money. And then they had it all go back home just because they didn't focus, lock in, and do what they needed to do in order to sustain yourself. But like we were talking about, on the contrary, there's a very big network of people who are actually locked in on their goals, their dreams, and you can surround yourself with those people so you can ultimately level up yourself.
Absolutely, bro. Yeah, that is the one thing about Thailand is that like if you guys do end up out here, whether you're tall, handsome, even if you're just an average dude, you're not even built up in your fitness and you don't have that many skills in dating and stuff, you're gonna be surrounded by Thai girls. There's Thai girls who want you. You're in demand out here as a man. As a foreign man, that is. So you get distracted. There's places like that you probably want to visit. People invite you to and such. And there's a world of distractions out here, and things cost less, so you get very tempted, and maybe you're not keeping track of everything yet, and you're just enjoying and embracing the life when you get off the plane. And that's completely fine, but you have to, like, at some point really, like, get structured and put things into perspective, because you can go down that rabbit hole of just pleasure and like,
Yeah, I mean, there's like a
lot of guys,
50 meters.
Yeah, I've seen so many guys at like Muscle Factory that are like, yeah, I'm on top of my shit, I'm gonna succeed out here, I'm the influencer, this, that, and the third, and then they'll like text me on the weekend, or I see their story, and they're like at the club and shit, and they're just like jerking off, like doing fucking bullshit, And then like when they're gone in 6 months, they lose their savings. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean the vices out here are like, you can get everything you want. There's weed shops every 50 meters. There's clubs open every single day. It's not like back home in my hometown, like the clubs, they would only be popping on the weekend. But you could literally go out every single night of the week and the weekend, and you can always have a good time. Which is okay, but you just need to balance yourself. First, lock yourself in a room until you sustain yourself with either remote sales, whatever business model you kind of delve into, and then you can always enjoy yourself later. But I mean, yeah, with the vices out here, it really does test your discipline to see who you really are, just because everything is right there, the clubs, the weed, the alcohol. You can literally buy alcohol at 7-Eleven. It's absolutely insane. But what would you say to someone who's maybe scared to leave their hometown, they're scared to leave that 9 to 5, to take that risk, take that jump in either remote sales or whatever it may be? Like, what would you say to them if they're just on that edge, but they haven't quite jumped yet?
Well, in life, from what I understand from my own experience, if you don't take the risk, you don't see the greatest of rewards. Sometimes you do have to take some degree of risk. But even if you put it into perspective, what really is the risk of moving to a place like this? Whether it be, nothing's set in stone. Like you can stay here for 6 months and you find your path, or you could stay here for 1 year and you find your path, or 10 years and maybe you find a nice Thai girl and you get married. Well, who knows? But in order to get into a better position in life, you have to make yourself uncomfortable. So there's always some degree of risk, right? So I totally agree that you should take some sort of risk, whether this is the stepping stone or whether this is the place of permanence for you in your life. I think it's the best thing for you to do as a man is to take some risk in life, especially if you're 20 years old, if you're 22, even 30, man, even 30. Right now the U.S. is like fucking in such a terrible position. You see it on a daily basis what's going on with Trump now, and the government's being exposed. It's like, if Trump is not reelected in the future, even, I mean, we can delve into politics a little bit, but you are running a risk by even living in America right now, technically.
Yes.
So you see what our tax dollars are getting spent on. What do you get in return? You're wasting money by staying there, essentially.
Yeah.
So take the risk. You know, why not? This is a small risk when you put it in perspective.
Yeah, I mean, if you really look at it in all the grand scheme of things, there's really no risk. Because if you do come out here and you just fail for whatever reason, you can just always go back home. You can go back to the 9 to 5, go back to what you were doing. But at least you're giving yourself that chance to create that life you've always wanted. And you can see and open your eyes to the new reality you could have. And then once you actually get out here, whether it be Dubai, Bangkok, Miami, wherever it is you go, that'll give you the motivation you need in order to succeed. Because right now, I don't know if you're like me, but back in my hometown, there is no one doing what we're doing now with remote sales. Everyone just smoking, drinking, partying, giving it to all these vices. No one was going after anything in life, but coming out to Bangkok and surrounding yourself with people who are all levels above you will ultimately help you level up yourself.
100%. 100%.
And when you came out here, if you don't mind me asking, like, how much would you have saved up? Just because someone might be asking themselves in their head right now, how much do you even need saved up to go after that adventure?
Okay, so if you're, I know exactly. So if you're not gonna go and enjoy yourself for a little bit, if you're just gonna just straight come to Thailand and get dialed and focused, and for how long you said? For
just like the first 6 months.
Oh, 6 months. Okay. Let me think. You could spend in Bangkok, I want to say like comfortably $500 a month on your apartment. So 6 months. So that's like $3K. And then you have your food. I'm a fucking fit dude. I weigh 180 pounds. I'm shredded. And I eat a kilo of chicken a night. You know, granted I do cook it, but I'm efficient. Even if you want to just order food out every day, you probably spend $600 to $800 on Grab if you're eating conservatively, not, you know, steaks and whatever. You know, reasonably. And transportation is negligible. You maybe spend like $200 on Grabs, or you rent a motorbike for $100
like
a month.
$150.
Yeah, $100 a month. You get a smaller CC motorbike. So on average, you maybe spend $1K a month, right? That's being reasonable. You spend $1,000 a month or $1,200 a month, and you have a decent life, a nice condo with a fucking motorbike, and you're eating food that's delivered to you. You don't even have to cook it.
And it's healthy
Every
food,
single
not
day.
like American
And it's
food.
fucking Thai food. It's the best in the world renowned. Everywhere, every other block is a Michelin star restaurant out here, brother. You know, that's the other thing. Yeah, it's addictive.
Yeah, that is a great thing you say about Thailand. Like, I think the health benefits out here like outmatch America by like 100x, just because it's sunny most of the year. There's rainy season, but it's not as bad as they say. Like, it only rains for like a few hours and the sun comes out, so you can tan literally every day. Maximize the vitamin D, maximize the test, which equates to more success. And you can't really have that in America, especially back in our hometowns. Like, we have winter, so like 3 months, 4 months out of the year, you can't even get the sunlight that you need in order to tan, look good, feel good, and go after what you want, which I think is one of my favorite things about Thailand.
No, absolutely, it puts you in that position. But yeah, the only downside is the air pollution. It's only like 2 months out of the year, and it's already passed. You just wear a mask, you know, get an air purifier. You can mitigate it. But yeah, man.
Cool. Well, guys, that's pretty much it for the video. Luke, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Awesome, bro. Appreciate you.
Good luck. See you at the gym.
Yeah.